where you come from, then Sergeant, you can have something.
Thank you. I had introduced myself previously, but I can redo it. Ramatali Wami Loli Polodis said I'm a politician. You know the trouble we have with technocrats. When they tell you ask questions, we might think otherwise. But I will attempt to be a bit law-abiding, Mr. Undersecretary. I will, on the outset, thank the presenter. I was studying his presentation and body language. I thought he wanted to be down on earth, to make all of us, including the poor politician of South Sudan, to understand. Mr. Presenter, thank you very much. I have numerous questions, not only for you, but I would have also loved to ask the ministry. You know, we look at macro issues, and having looked at all your slides, the first question I would love to ask is why the inconsistency in the map of South Sudan? I noted that. I loved the first map, but then the rest of the maps were making me feel sick. Two, I am a different breed of politician. I'm a politician who enjoys the companionship of technocrats. And therefore, I would never love to do my politics unless a technocrat advises. And if I were to run the country, I would obviously increase the number of technocrats around me. And I would want to believe that this ministry should be one of the most important technocratic ministry of the country, which deserves a lot of support. As I saw there, we are talking about the coins, the money. This ministry must not lack money, because it is about our life, about our livelihood.
Big time.
And for that reason, some of you are unfortunate, but you will one day be fortunate. You stick to that. The question I would throw to the ministry, I'm happy I've seen a lot of young men and women here. I also noted there's one who is a director at, more or less, probably she's 13 years old. And in South Sudan, if you can become a director at that age, then we are going to get a repository of knowledge. Therefore, you are the future. You need to fight harder. Some of these issues are very critical. I hope, Mr. Undersecretary, the ministry is pregnant with technocratic knowledge. I hope the ministry is not a victim of the South Sudanese nepotistic politics, tribalistic politics. If it is, fight hard, because we need technocrats. I'm happy. So somebody seated here, he was one of my senior colleagues at TER. This is good. The other question I would want to pose, Mr. Presenter,
Peter,
is a final one. Peter. Obviously, I heard the minister very carefully, and she was saying that we would want to preserve our Jongole Canal. I'm wondering whether we already have Jongole Canal as ours, and if it is not ours, what are we trying to do? I was in the bush forests of South Sudan, and one of the cardinal reasons for us to fight was Jongole Canal, and we stopped it at a certain point in time. What is that new thing? Have you, Peter, advised our government, the SPLM cadres, that it is now proper for us to go ahead and resume the Jongole Canal? And if it is not, why this hullabaloo now? Have we forgotten the objectives of the struggle yesterday? Or are we being hoodwinked to love of certain coins that we are told, Mr. Undersecretary? I was hearing he was struggling with certain money that you are supposed to get for something, and it looks as if from his presentation he didn't know where the money went. Maybe you even didn't know what happened with the money. maybe the project did not take place. And if that is the trouble, I think we as people of South Sudan, Shabab, you have to wake up. You have to fight against some of your sons and daughters who want to technically have this government led. Shabab Itasenade, I have come to believe, are castrated. They have no energy to fight. Power bigger Malian, aligi aragwa aragwa. Lakin, you know, fear sometimes is planted in us, including the media. They are threatened not to say certain things. But please, stay afloat.
Okay, can you continue?
So finally, I tell you, I would really love this concept of comparative advantage. And let us appreciate to support our technocratic ministries. It's very essential. But you also have to appreciate that science is not only about environment, even politics is science. Perhaps if you want to know, we are maybe social scientists and they are natural scientists. And you know, nature is very important, isn't it? So I'm very proud of this presentation. It has made me a bit grown older in understanding some of these issues. So when we go out there, I will at least have some weapons to fight certain people. Thank you very much.
Okay, his questions and comments were very pregnant. So there are some for us in the ministry, and I think we'll try to throw in, for example, the issue of maps, the map of South Sudan. We know we have an issue with our map, especially the Elemi Triangle. The status of the Elemi Triangle is something that needs to be resolved, because we in South Sudan believe the Elemi Triangle is ours. And Nicholas here from Kenya, you have to take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Indeed, it is our area. It was only given to Kenya to administer it during the One Sudan era. And so the line was moving, the Kenyans came in, they started building some structures there, and in the end, there is now oil in that area, and somebody wants it. When I was with UNEP, I was also with UNEP, my colleagues in Nairobi, when we go on Friday to Tamasha at Hurlingham to have a bottle of beer, this issue of Elemi comes in. Oh, Joseph, we helped you, we hosted you as refugees and blah, blah. And why don't you people just give that land to us? So hosting refugees doesn't mean that our land should be taken. So conflict always causes a lot of things. When you are not a united front in your country, people will play with their maps. It's not only Uganda. We have the issue of Ugandans encroaching into Acholi land, into Kajukeji and all that. Yeah. So the issue of map is a political issue that has to be addressed by the government and the politicians like you. It doesn't come to environment. We'll just always know where our map is, and we have historical maps that we can use. We can go to the Court of Laws, arbitration, and those maps are there, and it always support us. So, and also, defending the territory of the country needs a powerful army. The army should not be concentrated in Juba. The army should be at the borders to protect our land. What we need in Juba are police, prison, and all that kind of stuff. But the army should be there to preserve the national integrity of the country. So a place like, now the border is moved from T-base to Nadapal. from Loki up to Nadapa, a big area. So those are some of the issues that people are supposed to be talking about, rather than this politics of being in the neck of one another. Because in the end, you'll find somebody in front of your door and the whole area is taken. So you'll not have a country. So the politicians have to take care of that issue of borders. One thing, as I said earlier, regarding funding and the budget of the ministry, ever since the ministry was established, people don't understand what environment is. And Murda can attest here. People think that we in the Ministry of Environment are supposed to be cleaning the roads in Juba. Because when the city is dirty, people call us, hey, Undersecretary, the Mahal de Wasaka, and all that. And I used to tell them, oh, come on, guys. The Minister of the Environment is national ministry, is a policy maker, and we have done our job. The policy is there, the plans are there, and everything. Just the means of implementation, which is the funds. So the other responsibilities goes to the state and to the city council, where each and every one of us should play our part. Like Go Green is now here, Eco Clean is here. So what do? That's our responsibility to pay taxes, because service delivery is not in the budget of government. We pay, we work for government, the government pays us, and we pay taxes, and that is the same circular thing that is supposed to bring us services. But the politicians like you have not given that enlightenment to our people, because politicians in Africa is about getting to be the president. That's the thing. But a politician should be from grassroots to make sure that services are given. Leadership there needs, because we have a lot of briefcase political parties that are only known and they come to power through conflict. And when election comes, now to register 500 people, 300 people for each state is becoming a problem. That's why we have a problem in parliament. So we need to make sure that the politics of the country should put the interests of the people first, and make sure that you want to become a politician. Because one thing that kills us as South Sudanese, you are born today, the next thing you're a politician. Everybody is a politician.
Honorable.
Yeah. So we need to look into that and say there is an issue about the preservation of the canal, which the minister, I think she just misspoke, because the Sudd is now like the Jongole Canal. So she said we want to preserve our Jongole Canal. She means we need to preserve our Sudd Wetlands. That's why the ministry went ahead and commissioned this study. And the findings of this study have come up with more questions. That simply means we only know this much about the Sudd, and more is supposed to be explored and researched. Because anytime in South Sudan, when money, like he mentioned, those 300 or 3 million from the Norwegians for the baseline survey, when we acceded to the Ramsar Convention, that was in 2007. No, the signing was 2007. I remember I was with UNEP and I came here for the workshop. You remember that? And where is the certificate? Is it still with Wildlife? Okay. So after that, when you accede to a convention, there are some things that you're supposed to do. A baseline study, and there the Norwegians were supposed to give us 3 million from the Ramsar Convention. So let me try to be clear and candid here. There's a lot of money that is being said, we give you 10 million, we give you that, but it doesn't come to the ministry. Okay? Simply because at the moment we are considered that we don't have a good financial management system. Thereby, all our projects have to be implemented or executed by third party. Okay? Money will be given, it's our money, but we are not trusted because of sticky hands or something, I don't know. So the money, we come up with our projects, but the people who manage the funds are either UNEP, UNDP, FAO, and all that. And I think it's high time for us to put our financial management system in place, because a country like Rwanda now, the Ministry of Environment of Rwanda is accredited to the Green Climate Fund and even to Jeff. So for us to go through a third party, we can come up with our projects and money will be given to us through our Ministry of Finance or through the Ministry of Environment. So these are the things. So the ministry have not received any 3 million. The 3 million is still there. It is us, South Sudanese, who are delaying our prosperity because of conflict. If we have peace, all of you here will visit the Sudd. You can take a boat from here, weekend, but don't drink on that boat. Wear your life jacket, you go there. And that 600 million can come up. Not only we want people from outside, but you are the ones who are supposed to go there and enjoy the beauty of the place. You go fishing, you do everything. So all the things are there. So the valuation of the Sudd, the 600 million, getting some safaris. Like when you go to Kenya, just outside, this Badingilo here can be like the Nairobi National Park. Easy. And those people are making millions out of the Nairobi National Park. And Badingilo is here. Because what happens, the picture that he showed, all those millions of white-eared kobe, giraffes, they come to the Sudd, they eat, they become strong, then they come to Badingilo. And after eating food, you come for a party. Okay? All these animals go there for a party, they find beautiful female there, they make them pregnant, then they go. They live, and that's the cycle. So, like the wildebeest migration, people come from Europe, and the economy of Tanzania, Kenya, tourism is a major contributor to the economy. And we have something that is even more bigger than Tanzania and Kenya. So it's all upon us to make sure that we are delaying our prosperity. So that's what I can say about the money, Mr. Politician. The money is there. You people negotiate, bring peace. The Ministry of Environment will get consultants, and we'll go to make more baseline studies, not only in the Sudd, the Imatoms, and we have several areas where our people will have to know the potential of this country. The issues of the map that you have come up with, yes, that's something that you can also try to raise. So with this, I think Peter, he's asking whether you have advised us to go ahead with the Jonglei Canal. Our position is clear. Nobody has given a green light for the resumption of the Jonglei Canal without, and what we had there is water for South Sudan. And earlier Peter said the majority of South Sudan is dry. Okay? And climate change is coming. And it's not only going to be floods, there are going to be droughts, there are going to be heat waves, and there are going to be a lot of stuff. Flood management. If Uganda is going to open their dams, we need our dam too, somewhere here. They're open, we regulate it. Then we also try to do that. Came the issue of early warning system. I was with a team in Nairobi 2 months ago with EGPA. And we are going to establish an early warning system in the country. Thanks for UNDP with Jeff, we are getting some funds. We'll be having a room where we'll monitor with screens, rain, wind, everything, 24 hours. And we need 24 hours power too. So we will be able to tell our people exactly, sharing their data with them, we'll be able to tell, and we have, and the funny thing, and that is the sad thing, we have 10 stations for measuring the level of water given to us here through a project. When we are in Nairobi, we discovered that all those equipment and the measuring instruments are now lying somewhere in the Ministry of Water Resources. And it only needs about 150,000 because you need to put a solar panel on it, and you can have a phone that will transmit messages, whether the water went up by this much, and we have them, but we have not used them. And because of that, we are going to make sure that they will be installed all along the Nile so that our people will know that water is coming up. So you don't make drastic decisions with the issues of flooding. Flooding is now a phenomenon. Recently in Canada, the whole of Abbotsford, a very big city, bigger than Juba, was flooded. In South Africa, people died, Bangladesh and all that. So, but there are things that you have to do. Study dikes, and the most easiest one is moving to higher ground. One thing our politicians are missing, when we become an independent country, we are supposed to settle anywhere. If this place is prone to disasters like floods, that simply means there are some good areas where people will be able to settle. So disaster preparedness is key too. So all that is something that needs to be taken, than thinking that by dredging, draining, and doing everything will solve. That will be a band-aid solution, but the repercussion that will come out of it is up in the air. So I think that's what I can summarize. We in the ministry will always depend on science, and I'm glad to inform you that most of our staff here have master's degrees, and some are going to go for their PhDs, and the capacity is good, and we'll always work hard to build their capacity. So we take that from me. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you.